everyone, my name's Foxxie. Welcome back to another Minecraft video on the Mech Magic server. Thank you for joining me today. I'm at the front of my house this morning. We've got a bit to do, but before I get started on what I'm planning to do in this episode, I've been trolled. I logged on last night and there were a couple of the other players on, and I was told I wasn't allowed to leave my house at all. And I had to just potter around my house for about half an hour. And basically, this was the troll. Titan trolled me. And as far as trolls go, it's actually pretty nice. Look at this. He built me this whole little waterfall and flower garden right down to the entrance of my house. And I absolutely love it. It's so pretty. Thank you, Titan. See, I get the best trolls because I'm nice to people, so people are nice to me. And I think that's a quite important lesson. I just realised, is there something down? Oh, is that just my garden down there? Yeah. Yeah, but isn't it lovely? It matches what I've built perfectly, and it just extends from what I've built also. And I'm really happy with it because it just makes everything look so nice. From the last time that I recorded, I've actually been working very much on some of the mech side of things. For those that follow me on Twitter, you will probably have seen one of my latest tweets where I said that this episode was going to be much more mech related. I've been working on my workshop that I mentioned in the last video. I'm going to show you that now. And I've also been doing a lot of the more sort of mech side. So I now have a waypoint to my workshop, and I've spent a lot of time building this in the last couple of days. In my last video I said I wanted it to feel a bit sort of steampunk, and it's quite challenging to actually do that in Minecraft, I think, on a small scale. A lot of the big sort of the steampunk builds that I've looked at have been like sort of huge scale builds, and they're brilliant, but just not, they wouldn't fit in this little cave that I had here. So this is what I have in here. Obviously a water source. I always have a water source every single place that I build because I just think it's handy to have one. A clock, I guess, on the wall. I've finally got my ME system up and running. If you're not familiar with what an ME system is, you can literally just, all your things going into these drives, these storage cells, and you can literally just hold thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of items. You can also type in, if you wanted, say, redstone, you can type into it and everything's there, and it's a complete game changer. You don't have to have any big storage room, you don't have to have chests everywhere. It's just absolutely amazing. You can also combine it with the just enough items. So again, if I put in sort of redstone, what make a redstone torch, I can literally just put it into my crafting terminal. It pulls it right out of my inventory, and I can just craft it from there like that. So it was quite tricky to get my head around. I'm not familiar with these kind of mods at all, but this is something that I've really wanted to do. I had a lot of help from the other guys. They've been brilliant. Thank you, everybody. Just getting me up and running. With getting that sorted. I've got my reactor, which I pretty much built myself. Sylph put some water in it for me, and I think Titan filled it up with some fuel yesterday. I think I need to empty that. I think I definitely need to empty that. And yeah, so that's that. And these are all the machines that I've had to build along the way to actually allow me to build a lot of the things that I've needed to, because every time you put something into the crafting to work out how to make it, and it sends you down this big rabbit hole of, you need this machine, you need this item. So I have a tree fluid extractor, and then a fluid transposer to store latex, and it's all very complicated. Sag mill, latex processing unit, pulverizer, slice and splice, redstone furnace, and an alloy smelter. They all do different things. I'm not going to go through each one. If I use them again, I'll make a point to try and record it so that I can actually go through some of the uses. But yeah, this is my workshop. So for today, what I'm doing is I went back to a where we used to live, and there was some spawners, and I tried to silk touch them, and something interesting happened. I ended up with a broken spawner, so it did silk touch, but it was broken. This was not something I knew happened, and so instantly I thought to myself, what do I do with this? Looked it up, and if you actually hold shift, it says combined with a powered spawner in an anvil to set the spawn type. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be working on getting a powered spawner to put with my broken spawner, and hopefully get a spawner up and running, because I like to have I have the redstone furnace which smelts rotten flesh into leather because I don't like killing cows, and and so I thought if I could have a zombie spawner set up that I can just have that rotten flesh there and I can smelt it into leather, and it's all good. So I actually have a couple of the bits already. I have the zombie head, and I have the industrial machine chassis and the Z Logic controller, which took quite a bit to build. So I just need to make some electrical steel ingots and some vibrant crystals, and then we should be good to go. So to do that, I need my alloy smelter, and I need to put in, let me think, I need to actually open my backpack. We need these three things first, and then I also need to use those. We might as well get everything out of the backpack while I'm there. So these are all the things that I need, and the broken spawner. So if I go and put in 1, 2, I need to take the other thing out as well. I'm messy. I don't put things away. I'll pop that down there. This does take a little while. So this is like this. You can make all kinds of different. I made the energetic alloy ingot in this as well, but it does take a little while to do. And I think you can only put one. Oh no, can I stack those? Oh, brill! I'll just stack them and then wait till they're done. I'll wait till these have smelted, and then I will cut back in because it is going to take quite a while. See you in a minute. Okay, so because I am an absolute idiot, I managed to record this portion of the video with my microphone set to mute. Therefore, I'm having to now voice over this part. And I'd already messed it up once because I'd actually managed, as you can see in my inventory, I've already crafted the powered spawner because I'd managed to actually think I was recording and not actually record. So yeah, as you can see, what I was basically doing was getting all of the components. I made the ingots and I made the gems as well, and I made the spawner. So the next thing to do is put the powered spawner and the broken spawner into an anvil, and to rename it. And it doesn't really say, it just says rename the spawner. So I went for zombie spawner and to see if that worked. And as you can see, when I take it out of the anvil, it does actually say zombie at the bottom. And this was where I went to the bit that I'd prepared for the spawner, because I did set up the power and everything beforehand. It's just a basic kind of spawner room setup with some flux duct to power it, because obviously it's a powered spawner, it's not just a regular spawner. And the room is the right size. It's 4 blocks in every direction is the active area for the powered spawner. So I made sure that it was all the right size and everything, so they won't just spawn randomly. And down the end of that tunnel, if you can see, there's actually a mob crusher which crushes the mobs and also takes any drops that they may give. So yeah, in a moment I'll get around to actually putting this one. I think I'm showing you the mob crusher now. That's the mob crusher, and again that's all wired up, and there's some nice blades in there, and that actually collects all the drops for you. There's a hopper and chest behind it as well, just to give me a bit more storage space. So yeah, so that went in, and you can see it's got a capacitor in it. It needed a capacitor. I'd already put that in and set to spawn, and that's the active area I was talking about. Yep, 4x4, it's about perfect for the area that I've built out there, I've dug out there. And there go the zombies. Pretty cool, huh? And basically, yeah, this did stem from me just requiring leather and requiring rotten flesh to smelt into leather, as I say. So these poor zombies. Knowing obviously after recording as well, I did put a lever on this so that I can turn it on and off, because as you can see there, it said too many mobs, and also I didn't want it just continually loading them. It does actually spawn a lot quicker than I thought. When there's not too many mobs, it spawns quite frequently, so I think it's going to definitely be a case of that when I'm a little bit short on levels, or if I'm a bit short on rotten flesh or other zombie drops, because they drop quite a few things, that I can actually just come and switch that on. So that's pretty cool, because it really doesn't take that long to get the resources from it. And as you can see in the double chest, it's collecting all the sort of, I've got the XP, I've got my XP tank over here to just sort of keep collecting it for a later date, because then when I die I don't lose all of my levels. And I've got my rotten flesh. I take that down the elevator and take it over to the redstone furnace, pop it in there, and it'll smelt down nicely. I think it's 4 rotten flesh to make 1 leather, but I mean, you know, with a zombie spawner in my house, pretty much, it's not really much of a hardship to require 4. They drop tons of the stuff. So hopefully now I can get on with making my enchantment room, because I'll have enough leather for the books to do that, and also other things that might need leather, I suppose. And again, you know, the other XP. So yeah, I've got my workshop set up, and I've got my zombie powered spawner set up. Just keep collecting that rotten flesh and smelting that leather. And in the next episode I'm going to try and go back to doing more roots things. I know I started on that and I did get very distracted with all this, so I am going to go back to doing the some of the roots magic and see where we can go with that, because I am quite excited about that. I just got a bit carried away with all the mech side of things. Once it was shown to me, it started to make a lot more sense, because I got a bit confused with it at first, but you know, now I'm making machines like a pro, but maybe not like a pro. But yeah, so thank you for watching this, in spite of all the mess ups that were involved in it. Like it if you've liked it, and obviously if you want to see the next videos, subscribe would be much appreciated. Thank you very much to the people that have subscribed so far. It does mean a lot to me, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.